Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, for wherever you're watching from. And today is another beautiful episode of Silent Record, where past histories that were meant to be hidden comes to life. And today we'll be talking about a very, very beautiful story, one of the stories that has brought love and good tidings to this world, but actually brought great tragedy that indefinitely brought a global dawn of safety. Adam, tell me in detail the story of Titanic.
The story of the Titanic is one of the most famous maritime tragedies in history. It began as a grand ambition to create the most luxurious and technologically advanced ship of its time. Built by Harland and Wolff in Belfast for the White Star Line, the Titanic was designed to be the epitome of comfort and speed, considered by many to be unsinkable. On April 10, 1912, it set sail on its maiden voyage from Southampton, England, bound for New York City, carrying some of the world's wealthiest people as well as immigrants seeking a new life in America. Tragedy struck late on the night of April 14 when the ship collided with an iceberg in the North Atlantic. The impact tore open several compartments, and it soon became clear that the vessel would sink. Despite efforts to launch lifeboats, there weren't enough for everyone on board, resulting in the loss of over 1,500 lives. The disaster profoundly changed maritime safety regulations and left an enduring legacy in popular culture. Would you like to know more about a specific aspect of the voyage, the passengers, or the aftermath?
Tell us why this should have actually been avoided and what necessary efforts were not taken to avoid this pending danger.
The Titanic disaster could have absolutely been avoided if a few key decisions had been different. First and foremost, the crew received multiple warnings about ice in the area from other ships, but these were largely ignored or not passed along to the bridge effectively. Additionally, the ship did not have enough lifeboats for everyone on board, as regulations at the time were outdated and did not account for the ship's massive passenger capacity. Finally, the crew hadn't conducted lifeboat drills, so they weren't prepared to deploy the limited number of boats efficiently when the emergency arose.
The failure of the Titanic, indeed, brought up a dawn of global safety. The sinking of the Titanic in 1912 is one of the most famous and tragedies in history, but this aftermath is often reduced to a story of class and icebergs. In essence, the overlooked event. Before the Titanic, the radio communication on ships was seen as a luxury or a convenience, but not a mandatory safety feature. Many ships lacked 24-hour radio monitoring, and because of this event that happened to the Titanic, this catastrophic loss, due to the lack of communication, led directly to the Radio Act of 1912 and the International Convention for the Safety of Life and Sea. These regulations mandated that ships must maintain 24-hour watches and carry sufficient lifeboats. This tragically, this tragedy effectively baited the modern day maritime safety and standardized global telecommunications protocols, preventing countless disasters in the centuries that followed. This is another beautiful episode of Silent Record, where we get to talk about stories that were meant to be hidden, but we here are going to bring them alive so we all can actually get experiences and those who need our acclamation, our praises, to get those praises. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them up on the comment section. I'd like to know wherever you're watching from, whichever country you're watching from, I'd like to know where you are. And wherever, please put up your name so I can say hi to you. Please, let's keep the record alive.